Welcome. This is after a long time we are meeting live again. So, this session is specifically dedicated to all those who are preparing for UPSC, that is Civil Services Examination. A lot of you also call it as IAS examination. Now, how do we prepare for IAS examination is a very important question. In this session, we would discuss some of the strategies to deal with your preparation while you are in job, and a lot of you query that I am in a job, a full-time job, a part-time job. Should I continue with my job? Should I leave my job to prepare for UPSC? So all those questions will start to answer here. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions, any doubts, you can raise those in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to take those in the comment section. Now, I believe there is some sound issue which is coming. Let me just check if all of you can hear it. Let me just check if you can hear it. Okay, let me just restart it and we'll be back again, joining it again. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, sound is okay. Thanks, Rohit. Thanks a lot. So, all those who had queries that sound is not okay, I believe the thing is clear and all of you can now hear the sound. So, for those who have joined in late, we were on the topic. I believe sound is clear now. All those who were on the topic that we have been preparing for UPSC, there are lots of queries coming up. Great. So Kapish has a query that I am in class 8. Class 11, sorry, can I start preparation for UPSC? So definitely yes, you can, and that's, I believe, one of the right times to start your preparation. Looking on to, first of all, the very first thing that we have started here, and then I'll take the queries as we move forward. So the first thing that we started with here is, I am in a job. It could be a full-time job, a part-time job. Should I leave my job if I want to prepare for UPSC? Now, definitely, I would say that won't be a wise option, because UPSC is not a short game. You have to remain dedicated for at least 2 years in a stretch. Even if you plan to clear it in your first attempt, you would require 2 years of dedicated efforts towards this examination. So leaving a job sitting idle for that period does not make a sense. Also, those students who have completed their graduation want to go for UPSC and they take a gap year thinking that they would prepare for UPSC, again I would recommend this is not a good idea. If you continue with your master's program, you get added advantage. How? The idea is pretty simple. If you are taking the optional, which is the same as your master's program, you will automatically be able to prepare for your master's program as well as your UPSC, and therefore this makes a clear distinction between you and others who are just a graduate in the subject. So definitely leaving a job, leaving your master's program is not a good recommendation while you are preparing for your civil services examination. Now, what are the pros and cons? It's very interesting to note when we talk about pros and cons for the exam. One important thing that you must understand, while you are in job, you have a plus advantage that you are not in a dire need for clearing the examination. That's the very first thing. So you have confidence. However, what is the negative side? The negative side is that you are looking for probably a stable job, but at the same time you lack time to prepare. Now, this is one of the major concerns that students have. When they lack time to prepare, what does that mean? They are not confident that how much time they are devoting would be sufficient for your preparation, in contrast to other candidates who are preparing for the examination. Now, when you are preparing for your prelims as well as your mains, the strategy would vary. The prelims is highly extensive. You need to know a lot of information that surrounds. However, when you are preparing for your mains, it is intensive. So if you are doing your masters, pursuing your masters, you tend to have an in-depth understanding of the concept, and that makes it very, very scoring. But for the mains perspective, I would say writing answers is again important. So writing answers is extremely important when you are trying to appear for your mains examination. Few important things I would like to clarify on writing answer. A lot of students ask for model answers. Definitely go through the model answers. That would give you an idea what kind of content should be included. Do also practice answer writing. That would also make it clear that on how you are writing and whether you are able to write within the stipulated time. So those things would be helpful. But some of the students think that I keep on practicing answers one after other. Now if you keep on writing answers without a proper evaluation, you are a net loser, because you are not able to understand the mistakes that you are committing. And unless and until you understand what mistakes you are committing, there is no point writing answers one after another. So have a proper evaluation. Now for a proper evaluation, I would say, for your UPSC preparation, based on the recent patterns, it's very important that you have a good sound self-study. Even if you are in job, pursuing your masters, there is no need for a regular full-time coaching that you require. You can prepare UPSC 100% through self-study. And how we can do that is very important. Thanks a lot, everyone, for your kind words. Now, a few questions from Prashant and Kapish. I'll be coming back to that again. You are in class 11th and you want to prepare for UPSC. Now, when you are in class 11th, I would recommend that this is the best time to prepare for UPSC. During your 11th, you have to cover your NCERT. So, by the time you complete your 12th, you are done with NCERT. So if you are starting early, you can probably give your first attempt even after graduation. Though when you are appearing after graduation, with your optional, you might not have that in-depth understanding of the subject, but you can develop that during your graduation itself. The content of post-graduation could be covered during your graduation itself. So that would give you a cutting edge there. That's very important to understand, that when you are in your early classes and you start your preparation, what is the benefit that you get? The major benefit that you get is the time. Now, even if you get into job soon after graduation, since you had started your preparation during your early days, you can take an advantage of that in the later years. There is a question. I am Monica. I am currently full-time working and I have given 3 attempts. I cannot leave my job. Now, Monica, this is one of the classic case of numerous students who are similar to you appearing for UPSC examination. Now, one important thing that you should try here is definitely don't leave your job. That's something I won't recommend to any at this point. What you can do is plan your schedule. So how do you plan your schedule? You can understand, okay, I can devote 3 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. So plan accordingly. Now once you have started to understand how much segment of time I can devote on a regular basis, try to differentiate what topics from your perspective you require more effort. Again, you have to understand whether I am not able to qualify prelims or mains. So if it is prelims, keep reading while you are commuting, while you are in your free time in the office hours, like you have a lunch break. You can actually quickly glance through the day's headlines, run through some of the important editorials, and that would give you an insight how to actually approach the concept. So that's one thing. The next important thing is preparing in a dedicated form is important. So all those who are in job or who are doing their master's program and want to appear simultaneously, I would definitely recommend self-study is one of the best options, because you are saving a lot of time which you would otherwise end up with some institute. Now, when you are saving a whole bunch of time, what is important? When you are saving a whole bunch of time, that is the segment that you can dedicate to your weak subjects. There, if you are joining an institute, students think that I am not able to perform well, I should join an institute. Now, in that case, what would happen? In that case, you are actually studying all those subjects. Probably even if you are good on those subjects, you would have to study those. But when you are doing self-study, you understand your weak areas. You know, I need to give more effort to economics, I need to practice more, or I need to do a lot of efforts on polity. So you classify the areas that are weak for you, and that individual analysis is extremely important. Now, when you are in job, you can understand, okay, these are the segments that I am running short with, I'm not able to do well, and you can practice and focus more on those areas. Now, again, Monica, I would like to just confirm whether you are stuck with the prelims or the mains, so I can have a proper approach for you as we proceed further. Now, if you are facing difficulty with your mains, our guidelines here would be a little different. If you are facing problem with your prelims, our guidelines here would be a little different one. So based on what you are struggling with, we can understand it. Let's say you are struggling with mains. Now, when you are struggling with mains, Monica wants to understand about prelims. So let's start with prelims first. So when we are talking about prelims, as I said, is extensive. 3 must readings you should do. One is Yojana monthly, Kurukshetra magazine monthly, Down to Earth every fortnightly. Now, 2 years back, there were around 10 to 15 questions directly asked from Down to Earth edition. However, last time, the number of questions from Down to Earth were relatively less, but the sections and the questions from Science and Tech were extensive. So what I would recommend here is follow authentic news. So let's say you go to Google News. Okay, recently we covered one of the classes which was fusion ignition. Now, fusion ignition, one of the techniques for fusion, nuclear fusion reaction, successful with a positive energy gain, was done by Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in US. Now, this becomes an important topic. Now, what kind of questions can surround it? What is fusion ignition? When can fusion ignition turn positive? What are the 3 prerequisite conditions which are required for fusion ignition? So I'm just giving you one of the examples that I have covered 2 days back that would give you an insight. So once you go back and watch that video, you would understand what kind of details you need to know. Whatever topic you go through or you hear in news, try to go through the length and breadth of that topic. As I said, prelims is extensive. Now again, Monica, in prelims, I would like to ask whether you are struggling with the qualifying paper, which is CSET paper 2, or the GS paper. If you are struggling with the qualifying paper, for that, have a strategy. Whether you are weak in aptitude or weak in reading comprehension, try to brush up your skills on any one of the dimensions, and probably that would be the keystone for you to actually qualify the CSET paper 2. For CSET paper 2, we have covered numerous video series as well. Okay, so prelims classes rather are available on the link. We would share the link as we proceed, and one of the links is pinned up. So on Doorstep Tutor, we do have the sections where we have covered the video lectures for prelims as well as mains. Now, if you are struggling with GS, in that case, keep subscribed on the channel. We are covering every month Yojana, Kurukshetra, and every fortnightly down to earth. All the 4 editions are available towards the month end. Somewhere around 25th to 30th of the month, you would find these 4 videos every month. Now, once you go through these, the handouts for these are available on Examrace. Those are available on the current affairs section for free. So do avail that, rather than if you are not having ample time to go through the complete magazine. That's something that would suffice for your examination. There is another question from Prakash Desai. I am 26. I gave 2 attempts. How should I manage work profession and preparing UPSC, as both are essential for running the family and myself? Very important question, Prakash, and similar questions being raised by numerous others who have been preparing for UPSC, and that's one of the reasons we have come up for this class. Now, as I mentioned previously, you have to assign or demarcate how many hours you can dedicate for your preparation. That's the first step. So we go by this step. So the first step is understand how many hours per day you can devote based on all your family and work commitments. Now, once you have number of hours, let's say on a maximum you can devote 3 hours a day. The second step I would recommend is identify your weak areas. Identify whether you need more study or you are struggling more with economics, polity, geography, which subject requires more effort from your side. Okay, based on that, take one reference. So NCERT is something I would request you to cover. Now, those who are working professionals, a good idea for you is cover the NCERTs that we have taken on YouTube. So that's something that you can cover while you are commuting in your free time, and that would cover NCERT in totality. Also, the important thing is these NCERT lectures are crisp. So 15 to 20 minutes of each lecture, which would cover all the important highlights from that chapter. Now, once you have covered those NCERT, I would recommend that you do one extra book per subject. For example, in geography, you should cover GC Leong. GC Leong, all the 25 chapters are again available on YouTube Examrace, so you can cover those. Similarly, for all other subjects, do one references, and on the mains page we have the lecture list that covers all the important lectures from polity based on Lakshmikant, DD Basu, and important references. Along with that, for economics, all the major concepts of micro macro, specifically the inflation and the monetary and the fiscal policy is extremely important in the present scenario, the role of IMF, World Bank. So those are some of the topics that are covered in our lecture series, the link of which has been pinned above. You can refer that. The third important thing is, once you have started practicing towards the exam, closer to the exam, I would recommend that you turn out into an extensive study. Closer to the exam, you can take a detailed time for 10-15 days if possible, and start your preparation in an extensive format. When I say extensive way, refer PIB, Vikaspedia, an important reference. For economics, Investopedia, another important references. So with those references for science and tech, you can understand the Science Daily as one of the good references. Now, once you have covered those, try to focus on the important things that happen. For example, I take another example, GI tag. So recently, GI tags have been given to Gamosa in Assam. Now, Gamosa Assam GI tag becomes important, but similar things or all the similar important GI tags become important. So recently, we covered one of the GI tag classes on Bhalia wheat, which is again important, grown in the Bhal region of Gujarat. Now, this is a wheat variety which is grown without water. Very, very important case study also that you can cite in your mains examination. There is another question that I am major with, the major problem is CSET, I am weak in maths. Now, if you are weak in maths and you are a working professional, I would say the CSET pattern recently, what changes we have seen is a lot of questions from reading comprehension are also asked. So, if you go on to the lecture series for our prelims on doorstep, you would find the lectures for assumption, conclusion, which are extremely important. Cover those, and probably that would cover your 50% of the section. Now from the math section, identify the areas that you are able to do. I would suggest number series, blood relation problems, direction problems are relatively easy. When you are saying I am weak in maths, you are probably targeting towards algebra, arithmetic, core concepts. So even if you practice a lot of questions on profit loss, interest, simple interest, compound interest, those topics become important and easy. Work time problems, we have taken numerous shortcut tricks that would help you to actually sail through the CSET preparation. Clear? So those are some of the important things that you must keep in mind for your CSET preparation. Definitely before your examination, we'll come up with more interesting sessions that would help you guide on CSET preparation. But CSET preparation is extremely important. As I mentioned, this CSET is a qualifying paper. So if you are done with the basic elements of CSET, then you should be able to go through the qualifying section, and your main focus then should turn over to GS, which is the most important segment for your preparation. Now when you are preparing for your GS, you are going through such extensive content for your prelims. Now those same content that you are going through, different case studies that you would be going through. For example, recently we covered one of the case studies on vertical farming. We also talked about saline farming, seaweed farming. So all these case studies become extremely important from environment perspective. These could be included in your answer writing in your mains. So what you are studying for your prelims, different things that have happened, different regions that those things have happened, those turn out to be extremely important for your mains, because they turn out to be case studies in your mains answer writing. And for answer writing, we would be releasing the next year's answer writing sets, the 2023 answer writing sets for the subjects by the next month, that is by January. So you can actually definitely avail the questions, get benefit, try to write yourself, no need to even to get evaluated, write by yourself, try to go through the question, then read the content, and then once you read the content, identify what points were missing in your answer, and then try to improve your answer again. A lot of you also say that I'm not able to remember the facts closer to exam. I have a lot of information in mind, but when it comes to writing under stress, I'm unable to do so. So how to cope up? One important thing is have confidence in yourself, and the second most important thing is while you are writing, try to actually have a spectrum around it. Understand this concept relates to what other concepts, and then link those concepts with the main concept, and that would actually have a good garnishing for your answer. There is another question from Rohit. I am 27 and I want to start my preparation for CSE. I am studying NCERT. So NCERT, Rohit, is the key thing that you should begin with. Now once you have started with your NCERT, I would recommend one reference on top of it for all the subjects. The list we have given on the website as well, and in our previous sessions as well. So you can just refer that. If you still have doubts, you can just drop a comment again. I'll just post those in the video itself. But try to cover those books. In case you are not able to cover those books, I would also recommend that you can go through our video lecture series, which is available on the link pinned above, and there you would find the extensive content for polity, economics and all other subjects. So either if you have time, go through the books. If you are a working professional, you don't have time, you are with your self-study, you can refer the material which is readily available. But in case you are referring the material which is readily available, make sure any content be whatever you are referring is authentic. So be very specific that the content you are referring is authentic, and you can take that content for granted. So if you go through the wrong informations, there is no way you can actually qualify your examination. So have sound understanding of the concept, and that's one of the key things that you must keep in mind before you appear for your prelims examination. Also, before your prelims, have a good decision on what you would be opting as an optional paper for your mains. Don't leave it for the time after my prelims result is declared. I'll come and decide what optional to take, what to write in mains. No, that's not a good strategy. Even if you are a working professional, think in mind what you have to do and take as an optional paper. That should be ready with you right now if you are targeting with 2023. Now, once you have your optional decided, again, if you want to understand what should be the factors to decide optional, we have covered a lecture how to decide your optional. You can refer that. And the most important thing is when you are deciding your optional, don't switch, don't change your optional. Very key thing. A lot of students don't perform well with their first attempt in one optional. They switch the optional just for the sake that probably they'll do good with the other optional the next time. No, that won't be the case. Whatever optional you take, just stick by it. It's like a marriage. It's done. The next important thing is once you are writing your essay, it's very important to have a philosophical construct. As we have seen over 2020, 2021 and 2022, the kind of essays that are asked in UPSC are getting more challenging. In the sense they are more philosophical. So all these recent essays we have covered on Doorstep Tutor again. That would give you a dummy approach how to go for that essay, but you can definitely have your own creative inputs. So whatever model answers you are referring, be it here with us or anywhere else, try to have your own creative innovative ideas along with us. There is another question from Shiva Krishna on relying on YouTube classes and some basic books. Is it possible to clear the exam? Now, YouTube, I don't know about others definitely because I'm busy taking the lectures here. So, if you are following the Examrace YouTube, yes, I can assure you that covers your NCERT completely. So, all those topics that you have covered from Examrace YouTube NCERTs, those are in totality. There is nothing which is missing from the NCERT which has not been covered in the YouTube video. So that is something that you can surely go for. And then standardized books are important, and regular current affairs, regular updates must be taken into account. So be in a habit of reading newspapers on a regular basis, having key highlights about the things that are coming in news, and the related aspects to those are again important. So those are some of the key things that you must take into account. I hope this session was useful. Probably we would come up with another live session next month. So till then, wish you very good luck. In case any of you want to have a one-on-one consultation, you can just drop a message, and we do provide free one-on-one consultation for your UPSC preparation. You can email us to admin@examrace.com or call us on 999-800-8851. There is another question: what are the monthly magazines that we should read? So I would request you to note it down again. Yojana, Kurukshetra, Down to Earth, 3 important magazines. If you have a geography optional, Geography and You is another good magazine. And how many times minimum revision is needed for long time? Now NCERTs, I would recommend you go through the NCERTs today, after 1 week, after 1 month, and after 3 months. So that should be your strategy. Have this strategy strictly being followed. It's very important because the key things you would remember, but the minute things which are being discussed would actually be wiped off as the time swipes. So make sure you are having a regular revision. I repeat, 1 week, 1 month and 3 months should be your target. The next is okay, so the revision guidelines again I have recommended. So it's not like that you do a weekly revision, leave it and then go to another topic, take another topic and do a revision. No. So keep on doing the revision of the same thing that you have studied today after 1 week, after 1 month, and then after 3 months. Extremely important to have regular revisions on each topic. Now this is something which is a very basic principle of forgetting curve in psychology if you have studied, and that says your curve declines steeply in case you are not actually revising your content, but in case you are revising, that maintains itself. And therefore NCRTs specifically are very they have a lot of information within small booklets, so you need to have a thorough revision, which is very important. I hope all of you enjoyed the session. Definitely I won't waste a lot of your time. Study well, prepare well. You can approach us, reach us anytime you want. We are more than happy to always help you with your preparation. Wish you very good luck and have a wonderful day ahead. Thanks for joining in.